What's good, everybody? It's your boy L. Straight Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Brother Pill podcast. You know, it's where the best African American podcast show here. Been rocking for so many years. We're doing the preliminary season 5 right now before we bring in everybody else. And I am 1/3 of the pill right now, 1/2 of the pill. My name is O'Shea Duke Jackson. I'll go ahead and let my brother introduce himself.
LAR movement, we just about to cut up today, so let's have some fun.
All right. And guys, today we want to have a real conversation about the topic of weave, right? And I know this is very controversial. A lot of people want to talk about this, and especially for a lot of black men. Is weave a turnoff, right? For a lot of black men, because a lot of black men on at least on the YouTube's comment space, you see some brothers complaining about the blonde weaves, the blue weaves. You got the 4th of July weaves. What? Then there's the Remy weaves. There's the wigs. So what, LAR? What do you think about like black men and black women with weaves?
Weaves are a problem.
I just start off.
It's like some people go too far, man. It's kind of like your favorite team got a home jersey, a away jersey, a Cinco de Mayo jersey. They do that with the weaves. Like, one day is long, one day is short, one day is blue, one day is red. One day is black and white, the other day is yellow and black. Listen, we can't keep up with all that. It's a problem. You want to have weave to match your outfit. You want weave to make you look old, weave to make you look grown, weave to make you look young, weave to make you look not bald-headed, but weave making you look bald-headed. It's tiring, man. And it don't smell good for a lot of y'all. Y'all can't. Listen, man, we got to use lava soap to get in there with some of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's bad. No, y'all shouldn't even be bald-headed like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's a protective style. You seem like you protecting your comb from your head.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's about. So yeah, it's trifling. It's bad.
Let me talk to you about this because, all right, because you said I know there are some that it can smell because I know that, but do you think that the ladies that wear weave, especially in our community, is that a sign of insecurity, or it's just because you hear the protective hairstyle thing? What do you think about is it a sign of a lack of or a low self-esteem? What do you think?
I think it is a sign of insecurity that they were given. I think it's a sign of laziness because it's unfortunate that they know how to do weave hair more than they know how to do their own hair. I still don't understand if it's going to take you 2 hours to do weave hair, but it's going to take you 2 hours to do your own hair, but you don't want to do that. Then this idea that, a lot of these girls were getting perms, at 3 days old because their moms was just, I can't do it. I can't deal with your hair. A lot of these issues come from all that stuff with the colorism, and I got 4 ABC, LGBT hair. Don't nobody know about all this stuff. It's you teaching women to be insecure about how they look, and then they take it out into the world because it looks like your hair makes you unconfident and your weave makes you confident. So it becomes to be a mental issue,
Okay, let me kind of talk about what I think with the weave situation in as far as African American men. For me, like I always talk about weaving the salad up. Because I've talked to some black women, in America and in Africa. And what I've heard from the both parties is that, well, depending on the weather, some of the weave can be as a protective mechanism to help grow their real hair. I mean, I don't know how true that is. I mean, me and you both bald headed, so I don't know. I haven't had hair since 1999. So that's one thing I've heard. I also heard that, in certain jobs, some sisters, you know, at least a few years ago, like maybe wearing your natural hair, it's probably not as preferred. If you have more of a European hairstyle, employers feel a little bit more safe with that. I have heard that before. And I don't know how valid that excuse is, but certainly I've heard, certain cases, because there's even a Kansas cheerleader that was kicked out of the team for wearing a bonnet. This was just like today or yesterday. So I do believe there's some truth in that. But I think that what a lot of black men have the issue is with is two things. Number one is the like excessive use of it where it's so extravagant. And I'm talking insofar as blonde. Okay, now we're like getting the Puff Daddy's mama kind of weave in, the Faith Evans, it's like, it looks unnatural, right? You like where it's to the point where people know that it's not your hair. I think that if you're dealing with somebody that has box braids and it looks a little bit more African American or has a little bit more African texture, I think a lot of brothers would be, okay with that. But if we're talking about, I got Oakland Raiders silver stripes in my hair, the 4th of July weave, you got the now and laters, you got the Takashi colored weave, and you have some ladies that will do that, that can do that. They want to change it up, and women do like to change up their hairstyle here and there. They don't want to be monotonous with it, and I understand that. But then the other part is the excessive playing of the weave and the hair, the excessive that and this and that false confidence that they get when they have it. And I've literally seen chicks who, before they go to get the weave done, they feel one way. Once they get it done, they're a whole nother way, you know what I mean? And then that whole like fake confidence, now they asking you to be a real nigga. Like, you got to have this. Don't you talk to me. You know what I'm saying? They're flickering back. And it's almost like for some people, they kind of feel like they're better than the guy. And the guy is looking at himself like, well, like, what do you think you're doing? You know what I mean? And I think that for a lot of times, with the weave and then also the excessive use of makeup, a lot of guys don't really know what they're getting, because it's not until she takes that off that what she really looks like. And so a lot of times, you see those women, with the weave, the makeup, and then now on social media, you got the Snapchat filters. So you have ladies who play with the filters. So you really don't know, what it is that you're getting. And then it's like also the false confidences that come with it, and for some guys, they say it stinks. Now, unfortunately, fortunately enough for me, I've never ran into like a stank ass weave experience. Maybe because the ladies that I've dated before don't really have weave or don't wear it that much. But for some people, it's bad. And also, I have seen a lot of struggle weaves, like very bad, where the new growth is showing, it's struggling, and it is an expensive habit to keep up. But do you think that whole protective mechanism piece, because some people say that natural hair is much harder to maintain, it costs more to maintain, you have to have you have to continually style it, where weave you could just put it in and it kind of stays there. What do you think about that? Where I'm using this to protect my hair and then I'll take it out. What do you think about that?
I think what they're saying is a weave is a waist trainer for their head. When you use protective style, and you said different seasons, you telling me they got a weave that's like linen, is for this season, it's light, this a wool weave, this a leather weave, you know what I'm saying? This denim weave, like this is the shorts of weave, these are the jeans of weave, these are the slacks of weave. No, you're just lazy. Just straight up lazy. You don't, and some of y'all are lazy, some of y'all just don't know how to do your own hair. That's all that is. Because take into consideration that you're paying somebody even in our community for the longest period of time, you were paying people to make your hair look as white as possible. So you really don't know how to deal with your own hair anyways. And a lot of times it comes off that y'all lose y'all confidence because a lot of these ladies do the quote unquote big chop, and they don't want to go through the awkward phase or the ugly phase where it's not, it's not short and it's not long. And now you got to do a little things with it that might make you look a little bit funny because you should have did that when you was a kid. So now, all these different, the confidence aspect though is kind of weird because she'll go from a supermodel to like the Wicked Witch of the West, in 30 minutes. What's unattractive about them weaves really is a lot of these ladies think weave makes you look pretty.
Okay.
So when you got a weave on, you're pretty. When you got a blonde weave on, you're super pretty. And when you have regular hair, you're ugly. You're unattractive. And a lot of y'all play that out and y'all act it out with y'all hair, whether y'all know it or don't know it. Like, it seems like you can't be feminine with your natural hair, but you can be feminine with blonde weave. That's your, now I'm going to be a lady kind of moment. It's like, it's probably not a good idea. But, for a lot of us, it's easy to pick you out for the type of person that you are because of how you wear that fake hair. I could tell how.
Well, what do you mean? How they wear it?
The more of a peacock you doing it, the more over the top you are, the more insecure you're probably gonna be.
Oh.
Or colorful you are, probably the more of an attention seeker you're probably gonna be.
Okay.
The more often you wear blind, the more, how can I say this? You pro-blind. But you black. Like we know you kind of like, you really want to get over there like that. Like that's your pinnacle of what you call that, society. Like you got to feel blind to feel successful or to feel quote unquote American. So the insecurities creep out in there, and guys can kind of pick you out by, okay, this is gonna be an easy one because I can play to your ego. Because that fake hair is just an extension. It's an outward extension of your inner insecurities and your ego. You want to be Nicki Minaj with your weave. You want to be Beyonce with your weave. That's what it's usually one of the two at this particular point. Somebody's in either an amalgamation of Beyonce or amalgamation of Nicki Minaj. And because I hate to say it this way.
Go ahead.
See, some of y'all, weave is an extension of I'm not gonna work out. So a lot of y'all are not healthy because that's what part of the insecurity part. Like, if you overweight and you get your hair done, you feel like you're looking good. So a guy could peep that out a mile away. My hair done, my nails done, my stomach undone, but as long as my hair and my nails straight, and that's the other thing about health. We can see you're probably going to lead to the person who's going to be unhealthy because you're not willing to work out because of a hair issue. So you when people get mad about quote unquote pump and dump, some of y'all pump and dump yourselves because guys looking at you like, I can't be with you long term. You committed to weed. You're not committed to, like, that might be one of your top 3 commitments. Jesus, feminism, and weed. Jesus, your kids, and weed. Like, weave is too high up on the hierarchy of too many ladies, too many black women in particular. The hierarchy of needs. Weave is not a need. Do it for my child. My bad.
Let me ask you this. Here's the question that's very popular: can she be pro-black with a weave?
No.
Why is that?
Who you buying a weave from? Now, I actually do know some sisters who actually have those type of businesses. And to be truthful, completely honest, I think that business is dying down.
You think so?
Yeah. You know, with the quote unquote natural movement, which I think half of the natural movement is you got broke and you couldn't afford weave no more. But the other thing is, same thing with the economy and all that other stuff. It's something that you can't afford.
Okay.
And a lot of these ladies are running out of options because it seems like you need a supplemental income to keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, you're probably not going to be an adult with bills and have a weave addiction. You're probably going to be living. You're going to live with something. You might be living with your mama. You might have a roommate. You know, you're not paying significant bills on your own if you got a weave issue for the most part. So, no, you can't be pro-black. You can't. No.
You know, it's funny because there's a lot of people with pro-black, talking points, especially like, in the Pan-African space. I think that's kind of like really touchy because I would have to say, like, what is the actual weave? Is it like box braid? Is it more Afrocentric? That I could accept. Can you be pro-black with a blonde weave and then or like one of those weaves where that's unnatural?
No.
Because you have people like that are in the black spaces that have those arguments, about what's going on in the black community, and I wouldn't say that their arguments are wrong, but at the same time, I think that's a kind of a hypocrisy because for me, I want to see a black woman that looks like a black woman, and the one thing that distinguishes black women from anybody else is their hair. Black people. That's one of the things that distinguishes us. Obviously, the skin tone, but one of the things that that a lot of black men like, especially if a black man is really looking for a woman that stands out. Because if a woman that has like the normal kind of struggle weaves and stuff like that, it doesn't really make you it doesn't really make you like, okay, I have something very special. Don't get me wrong, a woman how she wears her hair, probably doesn't have a lot of bearing on how she's going to treat you, but it will add on to the fact that this woman has some some value for her hair. And a woman who like refuses to wear weave, that's a big thing, right? I mean, and in my opinion, I found some of the more confident, more easier to get along ladies are the ones that can wear their hair natural. But I also will say, as far as the pro-black thing, a lot of women want, they're looking for a stand-up, strong black man with a blonde weave, brown and black Rottweiler stripes weaves. And I mean, what people don't understand also is they a lot of sisters, they almost virtue signal in a way the kind of guys that they're going to attract with the weave. The way a woman wears her hair can play a really big part in what kind of guys are going to come towards you. If you're the lady that has the blonde weave, which I don't really say a lot of chicks go that route, but if it's the same kind of like struggle Remy weave or whatever, and if any guy looks at that hair and say, hood rat, like that, if it's that vibe, these are the kind of guys that are going to approach you. Okay. If you're a woman that wears your hair, and obviously and I'm not saying that this indicates your sex drive or anything, But the women who wear like more of the unnatural colors, red, purple, blue, things like that. That also most women who have that are more likely to have like tattoos or piercings. That kind of all runs neck and neck, right? Blue, red, purple hair goes along with tattoos. Goes along with skimpy dressing. To a lot of guys, it signifies that okay, you're okay to kick it with like on a limited basis, but not to be so serious with. And I think for and I don't like don't get me wrong. There are some women that have but I think there's a way to be more tasteful with it. I think that when you're getting so extravagant and it looks really unnatural, it looks like it's definitely not for you, and everybody can see that. That's when niggas like what you know what I'm saying? What's your take on it?
Like if you reverse it, you see the problem. Like, because now we're in an era where you see black dudes now with over the top hairstyles, and you kind of look at them like, bro, really? You got blonde dreadlocks? Like, you got a red fade? Like, what are you doing? And you see how some of the women are looking at these guys like, well, I don't know if I could be with a man that has a purple fade and some skinny jeans. It just kind of looks ridiculous. And now they're saying what we've been saying for years. And here's the problem with all of that stuff. It screams stupid. Because you should be worried about more adult things at a certain age than crazy hairstyles. We're adults. We have adult issues, adult sensibilities. You mean to tell me you're a person who says you went to school, you got an education, you got a good job, you're independent, you're strong, and it looks to the world like you're overly concerned about a hairstyle? Because some people are committed to that hairstyle more than they are fixing their life. You can have a bad life and a good hairstyle and you cool with it. That don't make sense. And the guys can just see that. Like, and the ladies, I gotta feel a certain way and I feel good and I gotta switch it up. When you gonna switch it up to being grown? Can you do like a grown weave hairstyle instead of this childish over the top, when I was 17, I wanted to do this, and now that I'm 34, I'm doing it like this. Like, I don't know about all that. It's a bad look. And it's so bad in a sense of the things you'll lose out on in life because you want to wear a certain hairstyle. It looks ridiculous. And for some of y'all who no, it's not that bad. When y'all look at the Instagram girls that y'all all talk about, that the girls who are thoughts and this, that, and the third are winning, they're usually over-exaggerated caricatures of a promiscuous woman. And that's, part of the tattoos and the piercings and the crazy looks and the crazy facial expressions. It becomes too much. To the point that you become to be unattractive. As men get older, that looks becomes a red flag of undateable. Your weave will make you undateable. I'm not gonna take you serious when you're like this. And some of y'all don't get it. Like a lot of y'all who are single don't get it. Except me. Except you as what? Like, would you take me seriously if I took this hat off and I had a haircut like I was in the Road Warriors and it was different colors?
not the Road Warriors, right?
It's bad, man. Y'all are too busy trying to express yourselves. just too busy, you know. And what's worse is, y'all know this about conversation. Most guys, you have conversations with women, and this adds to the weave thing. And I'm sorry, y'all don't realize how stupid y'all sound in real life, but how smart y'all think y'all are talking about here. And it looks like you've wasted a lot of time with your hair. That's not your hair. Like, I actually had this conversation with a woman like a week ago, and I was like, you know what this is like for us? If a guy took a bottle like this and put it in his pants and said, "This is a unit. I wanna feel girthy today because it makes me feel more confident." You know, then he go home, he take it off. You know, he take it out, and then you look at him in the bedroom, and he just, you know, he missing a good 7 of those inches that you saw in those pants. You be like, what the heck? This is what y'all doing to us. Like, y'all are not the same people. It's not just the hair, it's who you are when you take the hair off. Some of y'all don't realize y'all contort and start looking like damn. What is the thing from Lord of the Rings, Smeagol? Like, y'all take y'all hair off and then y'all shrink and start, y'all treat the hair like precious. It's not a good look. My bad, I was being long-winded, man. Uh-oh. I didn't know.
No. I mean, I definitely get. I think for a lot of guys is, you know, a lot of black men can be a very stereotypical for what the hairstyle is. So again, it goes back to, if a guy sees a certain sister and she looks like any of the ladies he's seen before, it's going to trigger like, all right, yeah, I don't know her, but Keisha, Oakland, Stockton, California, Chicago, single mom, attitude, I'm good. Right? I think, and that's kind of what was you gonna say?
That exactly. Like, the minute you see certain people, you hear Project Pat in your head. Bald head, scallop wave, ain't got no hair in back. Like, you hear that stuff. And ladies don't realize, we looking at you like, yep, that's her. I remember seeing you at the Cabot Beach party, half butt naked on riding around in the pickup truck. Like, it becomes bad, man. It's just not a good look. And y'all don't like, could you picture, all right, y'all ladies, try to picture Michael Jackson with a blonde Jerry curl singing Rock With You. It's like, huh? Picture all the guys you have a crush on with a, you know, if y'all had a crush on a rock and you see him with a Ted Koppel wig that was, you know, and one day he decided to switch it up and the rig was just red, like lava red. Like, I just want to switch it up. Y'all look at y'all man crush, whatever, and you do that to him, it's gonna look ridiculous to you. And it gives off a certain, oh, okay, all right. Some of y'all don't realize it's gone to the point where we look at weaves like y'all look at tattoos. You wear a certain type of weave, that's the equivalent of a guy with a tattoo on his face. You wear a certain type of weave, that's the equivalent to a guy who got tattoo sleeves. You know, you wear a certain type of weave, it's like, that comes with a bull ring in the nose. Like, a lot of y'all weaves don't say ladylike, it says rebellious. And a lot of y'all don't, oh no, it's not. Yeah. A lot of y'all just look like rebellious children looking for attention. And a weave is an extension of that. My bad, bro.
Yeah, I mean, for a lot of guys, you know, the weave is going to signify, depending on how it's worked, like who I've dealt with before. And if I think by any means like that you remind me of somebody with a bad experience, and you could be very nice, and obviously, you know, but you just can't help but be like, okay, this person looks like she could be potential Tatiana, so I'm not gonna, you know, really look at her that way. And a lot of times, you know, what we like a lot of women, they're very picky on like what guys are wearing. They judge guys, you know, because women like to see, you know, you have nice shoes, which is in the black community. A lot of brothers understand that. That's why we spend so much time, you know, trying to dress nice and have stuff. Women don't have to spend as much money on shoes, right? But they do spend a lot of money on their hair. But more or less, they don't spend their money on their hair to attract guys. I think it's more of a selfish, like, it's how I want to feel to look. Whereas guys, we dress to see like, okay, this is gonna help us get women. And women think like, look, it don't matter what I got, these niggas gonna be on me anyway, so I might as well express myself more often. But the problem is that a lot of women signify themselves and they turn guys off because with, you know, if you dress and look a certain way, and I'm a guy that wants to be a professional, I can't take you nowhere like that. You understand what I'm saying? If I'm an attorney, I'm an accountant, you know, I'm a person that is a medical doctor or a pharmacist or a business owner, and I really value what my, you know, my circle feels about me. I can afford to have a woman that has black and blue weave or purple passion weave. I mean, if this is like Housewives of Atlanta, that's different, you know. But if I'm a guy that, you know, my earnings and income is dependent upon, you know, what I do for a living, and that's based off something like this to do with, you know, intellect or skill set, and I'm a person that wants to be recognized in the community, I just can't, you know, maybe risk that. And obviously, if we have, you know, a lot of men are thinking about, what if I have kids by you? I can't have you showing up to school, and we live up to live in a very liberal society, but a lot of guys and people are closet conservatives about, you know, and I'm even talking about Democrats or liberals. A lot of men are very conservative about, you know, how their women are going to represent them. And I think now what you're seeing in Black America is a lot of ladies, you know, they kind of feel that, well, you know, they have more freedom to express themselves, but then they turn a lot of guys who are potential mates off. And let me just say this: when you look at other races of women, and I'm not saying that you don't have white girls who down their hair red, or obviously they do, but you know, a lot of times in the black community, black women have a little bit more of a freedom of expression, you know, to dress how they want. Even if you go to Africa, there's a lot more freedom of expression to, you know, dress a lot more provocative and, you know, stuff like that. Versus, and I mean, don't get me wrong, like it's hotter in Africa, but if you go to Africa, you're going to see, even if it's summer in Poland, if it's summer in kind of Africa, same weather. The mindset of women is different, you know. So in Africa, you're going to see a lot of like Daisy Dukes out, a lot of revealing things. You're not going to see that here in Europe. And a lot of times you'll see what guys will go to different races of women because sometimes they can be a little bit more conservative. You know, they don't have to. And that's another thing too with the weave. You know, I heard, I believe Tommy say this, Tommy Sotomayor. He goes, well, why would I want to date a sister that had a weave when I can get a Brazilian that has that real hair? That's what a lot of guys, some guys don't say it, but, you know, I might as well get me a woman that, you know, already has this hair naturally, you know, and things like that. I mean, what's your take on that?
First, you need to, we have a hard time dealing with women who have a hard time being comfortable in their own skin. And if you have a hard time being you, I might as well not be with you. You know, you want a guy who's confident. I don't want to be with a woman who lacks confidence and, you know, and she has a hard time being her. This week she wants to be Brazilian. Next week she wants to be, you know, white. Next week she wants to be, you know, Dominican or something. It's like, what about who are you? You know, the other thing is, it's a lot of, y'all don't realize we got PTSD too. You know, past thought, stress from dating. And that hair does something to us. It's like, I got to go through this again. with this person, with this new person. So some of y'all don't take into consideration, you spent more time pretending to be another woman than you actually worked on being your own woman. And that's a turnoff. It's unattractive. When it comes to the different sexes, like in different places, sometimes it's the thing, who you doing this for? Are you doing it for women's attention or men's attention? Same thing with the provocative clothing. Are you doing it for men's attention or are you doing it for women's attention? Because what it seems like is all of this stuff that makes you look at me, look at me, look at me. When guys look at you, half of y'all don't want guys' attention in the first place. So it becomes also like a sign of, okay, you want to be seen, but maybe you don't want to be seen by me, because there's no femininity, there's no etiquette, there's no dainty people, there's no demure presentation. Everything is over the top, and it's so bad that when you started competing with strippers and ladies of the night, that you started emulating them, you only became a beta thought, pretty much. And you're gonna get treated like a thought, you know, because you're dressing like him, you're wearing the same hairstyles. A lot of y'all, when y'all got tattoos, y'all forgot y'all was getting stripper tattoos. That's what a lot of y'all got now. You know, the hairstyles, y'all are getting stripper hairstyles. And I hate to bring this into it, but when it comes to y'all hair and makeup, y'all took too many cues from drag queens. Just because a dude wears that a dude wears fake hair and makeup in that way, that does not mean that's what men are attracted to. That's what drag queens do. Like, it's a little too, it's too far, like way too far, you know. And a lot of this, it signals that I'm way left, like I'm far off the reservation of what a man would want. And what I mean by that is, you're wearing this hair, this makeup, this clothing, looking for the type of man that doesn't want a woman with that hair, that makeup, and that clothing. So you're not gonna get what you're quote unquote looking for, because you're not presenting yourself in a way that's gonna attract it. You're presenting yourself in a way that's gonna attract people who are looking for, you know, one night stands. So to me, it becomes off-putting, because you dressing like, you know, you're in the uniform of a stripper, but you want to get treated like a queen or whatever. And going a little bit back, that's part of the problem with it, because these ladies associate this hair as their crown. So your crown ain't even yours. So what you want me to do with you? Like, how you want a king, but you want to be a queen, but you wearing a crown that's not yours. So you want a king to lie to you, is what you know, or you want to be a fake queen. It's a problem, you know. You know what? I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be done with that part of it. I think the worst issue of this is, when you look at the age groups, there's been a time where women in their 40s are doing the same weave-tastic things as women that in their 20s. So it looks like there's no growth because of the way y'all carry yourselves with these weaves and this makeup and this hairstyle. Y'all, I know some of y'all are trying to compete with each other, but you all pretty much look like you're in the same age group by the way you present yourself, but you look like you're different ages. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I definitely get what we're saying, what you're saying, brother. So from that, we're gonna go ahead and close this out. It's been a great show. LAR, go ahead and tell them about your YouTube channel, brother.
LAR Movement at YouTube. You know, I upload videos every day. So catch me there. Subscribe without trying.
All right, guys. So thank you so much for supporting the Brother Pill. Really appreciate you. And as you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. I'm out.